24-year-old Sarah Lachey Harris is behind bars after her infant daughter died from overdosing on cough and cold medication after being left home alone with her toddler sister for 37 hours while she went out clubbing. On Friday, the 5th of January, Sarah was arrested and charged with second-degree murder and child abuse in connection with the child's death. At 9:40 a.m. on the 30th of July 2023, authorities responded to Sarah's home near 19th Avenue and Mountain View Road in Phoenix, Arizona, after receiving a call about an infant not breathing. When officers arrived, they found an unresponsive 6-week-old infant girl laying on her back on a mattress on the living room floor. She was unable to be saved and was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators reportedly noted that the victim's head appeared sunken, and her body temperature was far colder than the temperature of the room, indicating that she'd been dead for some time. When questioned, Sarah told investigators that the infant was fussy the night before, so she gave the baby ibuprofen with a syringe and food. She carried the baby around the apartment until they lay down to sleep. She said that when she woke up on the morning of the 30th of July, she left the apartment and went to the corner market at around 8 a.m. She said that when she came back about an hour later, she had to have someone let her in the building because she had forgotten to take her keys with her. She said upon entering the child's room, she found her daughter with a blanket over her face and not breathing. She then called her parents, who called 911. Authorities obtained surveillance footage that contradicted Sarah's story about being at the apartment the previous night. It showed that she had left the apartment at 7:23 p.m. on Friday night on the 28th of July, and only returned for the first time at 9:12 a.m. on Sunday morning on the 30th of July. Surveillance footage captured at 10 a.m. on the 29th of July showed a man opening Sarah's apartment door slightly and walking away moments later. Police obtained a search warrant for Sarah's apartment and discovered a bottle of NyQuil for children 6 years and older, as well as a syringe with red liquid remnants that appeared the same colour as the NyQuil in the kitchen on top of the microwave. Investigators searched a trash can and found a baby bottle with what appeared to be white milk that had a pinkish hue to it, and red liquid in the nipple of the bottle. An autopsy determined that the infant's cause of death was from chlorpheniramine intoxication and an unsafe sleeping environment. Chlorpheniramine is an antihistamine found in medications such as NyQuil, cold and flu. During the investigation, police said they discovered text messages between Sarah and an unknown male between 11:18 a.m. and 3:22 p.m. on the 28th of July, in which a man offered Sarah money for sexual acts to be performed in a car. Sarah was seen leaving her apartment at 3:53 p.m. on the 28th of July and returning at 4:42 p.m. that same day. On the 5th of January 2024, Sarah was detained and brought to the police headquarters for interviews. During questioning, Sarah admitted to detectives that she gave her infant daughter NyQuil and melatonin in a bottle before leaving her and her toddler sister alone for 37 hours. She also confessed to taking illicit street drugs, drinking alcohol and going to a nightclub in nearby Tempe during this time. Investigators said that Sarah put the infant upright on a mattress and the toddler in the playpen before she left. She then asked a neighbour to check on her children while she was out. Sarah said that she became upset when she realised she'd been away for such a long period of time. Sarah was booked into the Maricopa County Jail with bond set at $100,000. The investigation into the matter continues. 20-year-old Connor Matthew Walker is behind bars for sexually assaulting a 2-year-old girl. Authorities said that on the 28th of September 2023, Connor raped a toddler at a licensed in-home daycare center located at 6565 Big Creek Parkway in Palmer Heights, Ohio. Investigators said that Connor, who has a Rocky River address about 10 miles away, had been living part-time at the residence where the daycare was held during the day. The daycare operator, who's a family friend of Connor, also allowed the victim to stay overnight on the same night Connor was staying at the residence. Authorities said that Connor sexually assaulted the girl in the bathroom and recorded and took photos of the assault. Detectives believe that the daycare operator had no knowledge of Connor's activities. On Friday, the 5th of January, Connor was arrested following an investigation involving both the FBI and area officers. Connor is charged with 1 count of rape, as well as 3 counts of gross sexual imposition. Authorities said that those charges alone could land him in prison for the rest of his life if he's convicted, although authorities say more charges could be pending. Palmer Heights Police Detective Eric Taylor said at this point, "We've identified 1 victim. We've reached out to all the families that were being made aware who attended the facility. If we find other victims, we'll reach out to them and handle the prosecution for them," he said. Connor appeared in Palmer Municipal Court on Monday the 8th of January and remains held at the Cuyahoga County Jail on a $500,000 bond. The investigation into the matter continues. A 34-year-old woman is behind bars after the remains of a 4-year-old girl were found in her closet. At around 4:30 p.m. on Sunday the 7th of January, Authorities responded to an apartment in the 2000 block of Johnny Lane in Greenville, Mississippi after they received a call regarding the welfare concern of 4-year-old Zaya Smith. When officers arrived, they made contact with the father of the child, Leonard Smith, who had advised that Zaya had not been seen for weeks, and came to speak with a relative who was keeping the child. Police were later led upstairs where Zaya's decomposing body was found in a plastic tote in a closet. Further investigation led to the arrest of 34-year-old Katricia Hardy of Greenville. Katricia is charged with manslaughter and child deprivation and remains held at the Washington County Regional Correctional Facility. Zaya's grandmother, Pamela Hall, said that she and the girl's mother, Nyesha Dixon, hadn't seen Zaya for about 2 years, and that they've been unable to get information from her father, who had sole custody. The investigation into the matter continues. A man has been convicted of murdering his girlfriend's mother. On Monday the 8th of January 2024, 41-year-old Michael Sloan Jr. pleaded guilty to first-degree murder in connection with the fire-related death of 69-year-old Suzanne Tomlinson. Michael admitted that he set fire to Suzanne's home at 523 Wood Thrush Street in Troy, Illinois, on the 22nd of September 2022, knowing that she was inside. The fire resulted in her death. Authorities said that Michael poured gasoline in Suzanne's duplex and doused her with gasoline. He also threw gasoline onto his girlfriend Courtney Tomlinson, who was 39 years old at the time, but she managed to escape and seek help. A neighbour called police after seeing their daughter running down the street. When police arrived moments later at 2:25 p.m, they saw Michael hold a cigarette lighter above his head and flick the lighter, resulting in a fireball. Michael had yelled to police that he intended to kill everyone. Flames and heavy smoke hindered attempts to get into the burning home. An autopsy revealed that Suzanne died of smoke inhalation and burn injuries. Michael was rescued from the fire and taken into custody after receiving medical treatment at a hospital. Courtney said that she and her boyfriend got into an argument about money he owed her, and when he didn't pay her, she asked him to leave, but he refused and doused her and her mother with gasoline before setting her mother and himself on fire. Michael faces up to 50 years in prison. His sentencing hearing is set for the 26th of February. Police were investigating after a 39-year-old man was fatally shot inside an apartment. At just before 7 p.m. on Monday the 8th of January, authorities responded to the apartment complex at 2332 Fort Benning Road in Columbus, Georgia on reports of a person shot. When officers arrived, they went inside the residence and found a man unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds. He was rushed to a local hospital in a critical condition, where he was pronounced dead. The victim was identified as 39-year-old William Thomas Brown. No arrests have been made to date, and the motive of the killing is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues.